David, I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
When it comes to murder mysteries, do you have a favorite? What's the go-to for you in that genre?
I actually have a couple go-tos.
Yeah.
One of them is the Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
Both versions I really enjoy.
Okay.
Recently with the Kenneth Branagh, but we cannot forget about one of the most recent films, Knives Out.
Oh, I love Knives Out. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Murder on the Orient Express because I want to talk about a film by Sidney Lumet, his 1982 mystery thriller, Deathtrap. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the A Film By podcast. I'm Jeff Johnson.
I'm David Burns.
And today we are discussing one of my favorite mystery thrillers, Deathtrap. So, Dave, I'm just gonna let's jump into it real quick. First thought, you saw this recently for the first time, right? Or did you see this a long time ago?
I saw this a long time ago in the days of when Netflix actually mailed out movies. Do you remember those days?
I do remember that.
Yeah. I got on a kick of murder mysteries and stuff like that. So this wasn't one of those that was mailed to me in that little shipper, that little red envelope. Yes.
Yeah.
That's when I saw this one, but I hadn't seen it since then. And I rewatched it again this week.
Okay, cool. For those of us that haven't seen Deathtrap, could you offer up a little synopsis?
I can. So it's based off of Ira Levin's very popular Broadway play of the same name. Sidney Brawl, played by Michael Caine, is a famous playwright whose most recent work is a critically acclaimed disaster. With 4 bombs in a row, now Brawl is sent a manuscript from a student, Clifford Anderson, played by the wonderful Christopher Reeve, which he had taught in a seminar. It is then Brawl decides to invite Clifford to his home and plans to murder him in order to claim the manuscript as his own. Or is that really his intention at all? Deathtrap is a murder mystery that will keep you guessing until the very end.
That is absolutely true, because I remember the first time I saw this, there are so many good twists and turns in this.
There is. Loved it.
I'm going to ask you, this came out in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to be, spoiler alert, can we talk about it openly? Because I don't know.
Let's talk about this openly. I mean, come on. Okay. You've had since 1982 to see this movie.
You've had a little bit of time, right?
You've had a little bit of time. No, we'll go ahead and put the warning here that I know. If you want to see it, you've never seen it, stop right now. Go watch it and then come back to the podcast. But from now on, spoiler alert.
Yeah, there we go. All right, let's get that out of the way. I'm glad we did.
Yep.
I love this movie. I really do. It's one of those weird things where I remember when I was a kid, because I'm a huge Superman fan.
Oh yeah,
loved Christopher Reeve as Superman. He is the Superman,
without a doubt. And
I wanted more. I wanted to see more from him. And he was very, especially during this time, he was very selective about his roles.
Yep.
So
I think one of the big reasons why he picked this role was because he wanted to get out of the shadow of Superman a little bit.
He did.
And I think that's why he took on this role. And, his performance in this is probably my favorite of everybody that's in this. And that's not putting Michael Caine down at all, because Michael Caine was awesome in this. Yeah. But Christopher Reeve, when he shows his anger in the film, it's like, whoa.
Yes. You're absolutely right about the typecasting. So Superman 2 is out. It's a massive success.
Mm-hmm.
They're already getting Superman 3 up and running. And he has a meeting with the studio execs at Warner's and says, I want to do this one. This is my next role. I've got this guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he Juilliard?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
He was an amazing actor, and he did the smart thing. He branched out. He tried something that was very far away from Clark Kent, Christopher Reeve.
Very far.
And I commend him for it.
Absolutely.
Especially, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it's nice to see him be able to broaden his horizons in his performance. because you see a little bit of that when he plays Superman, but you don't get to see his really dramatic side more than you do when you see him in this movie, Deathtrap. Because I mean, when he explodes on screen, we can go ahead and I guess talk about Christopher Reeve, but in this film,
let's talk about him.
So when you get his first introduction, he gets invited to the house. He comes in, and like he's like a little kid. I knew like when he was like talking about Brawl's like playwrights and how he was like looking around the room, and he went into the room to see like all the like weapons and stuff that were hanging on the wall, and how he was like a little kid in a candy store. Just his performance there, and then when you see him later on in the film, how you just flip the page on him, completely different character altogether.
If you haven't seen this, he walks into their home, and he does have there's a hint of Clark Kent to him, like that Golly G innocence. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. There is. He's got that just infectious smile, and you're absolutely right. He's meeting his hero. Right. He is an untested playwright. He went to one of the workshops, right? Mm-hmm. And this is his chance to meet his hero. This would be like us being invited over to Steven Spielberg's house.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's like us meeting Spielberg right here.
Yeah. But to your point, it's all an act, because it's all an act for Sidney's wife, Moira, played by Diane Cannon.
Diane Cannon. Yep.
Yeah. And we'll get to her in a few minutes, but just the turn that he does, where you find out that this is not the innocent, childlike guy. This guy is cold, calculating.
Mastermind.
He is. Yeah. Michael Caine refers to him as a sociopath at one point in the movie. And he is so good in this movie. This is, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. After Superman, this is my absolute favorite Christopher Reeve performance. Without a doubt. I can't think of one better. I honestly can't.
There's like some really cool shots in this movie, and I'll get to a little bit of them later when we're talking about likes. But one of the shots I love is like when they open up the door, he just comes bursting in after he was supposedly killed. Remember that? Oh man, I love that shot. Just like how he was all muddy and just that look on his face,
covered in like mud and blood, and the rage in his eyes. It's spectacular.
Yes, it is
spectacular.
And that's the point right there when he is. That's the point right there when the character has changed. I mean, at first you kind of think that like, oh, they didn't kill him, he's coming back in to get his revenge, but then you start learning the more of the story as it goes along here.
Yeah, because in that moment, and I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but
we are.
In that moment, you're almost like it's like you're watching like a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Exactly.
Let's before we get too far into the movie though, let's jump back. Sir Michael Caine playing Sidney Brule, which I think is kind of fun because the director is Sidney Lumet.
Right.
So Michael Caine has had such a storied career. I mean, decades of amazing performances.
Laundry list,
and he's done some amazing stuff. And I love how off the rails he gets in this movie. Yeah. Because he also gets to have those moments where he can express some rage, some anger. And also like when he has his meltdown,
Yeah.
over what Clifford's up to. It's
exactly
fantastic.
One of the scenes that that I loved. There's just so much to love about this movie. That's going to come up a lot. I'm sorry, everybody, because this is such a good movie. One of the scenes that I absolutely love is like when Clifford is there and they're having the conversation, but Burl is having this side conversation that where it's going. He's talking about murdering Clifford, and his wife, without trying to say don't murder him, she's trying to convince him not to murder him in the same conversation. I just thought that was brilliant.
That is some of the when you think about the writing in this movie, because I know Ira Levin, he did the stage play. I think he was involved with J. Preston Allen on the screenplay.
Yep.
And let's quick nod to her. This isn't her first big deal. This is the woman that wrote Cabaret.
Right.
She was uncredited on the 76 version of A Star Is Born. So we're talking about some amazing writers, and it shows. It really
Yes, it
shows
does.
in this. And I have to agree with that double conversation happening between three people.
Yep.
Where, the veiled warnings, like, Sidney, my heart won't take it.
Right. And then to learn what there was all just a performance just to get her.
Yeah.
That whole thing. It's just like, are you kidding me?
She's, God bless her. She's an innocent, she's the pure character in
she's
this
the
movie.
supporting wife,
Yeah.
she's there for her husband, just you feel bad for her. You do.
I feel bad for her, but I'm going to be fair. She is incredibly annoying in the film.
Her scream. Oh my gosh. That's the one thing.
I'm not even talking about the scream. I'm just talking about when she has her big monologue, her big opening, and she's just loud.
She is. I mean,
she's
loud and
loud
obnoxious.
And obnoxious. I'm thinking, man, you got to get her under control.
Right. Well, he does get her under control.
He does. Oh, he certainly does. But you're right. You do feel bad for her. And if there's any comfort in her death scene, at least she wasn't murdered in the traditional sense,
Right.
She didn't suffer pain,
She went a natural way, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So
because Myra has a incredibly weak heart. She's had minor heart attacks. That's what we know about her. She's incredibly wealthy, and Michael Caine, his character Sidney Bruhl, who kind of like a one-trick pony. He had this amazing hit, went on and on Broadway, and then this is his fourth flop. We find out.
Yep.
And he's washed up and people are done with him. I love the actual film critics that double as themselves. In the movie.
Yes, that was brilliant.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yep,
so
it was.
I enjoyed seeing that. And they're just talking about how this guy, he's done.
He's washed up.
So it's not like he needs the money, but he's so full of himself that he wants his fame and fortune based off of his fame and fortune and not her family's money. So
right. But just to get back to Michael Caine a little bit, he's just done so much stuff. I don't think if he's been in any bad movie, it's not been because of him, because his performance and everything is always top notch. And again, in this film, it's top notch.
Yeah, I can't think of anything where he wasn't incredible.
Right. So there's a scene I thought was kind of funny. Well, it's not really funny, but it's just the scene where Brawl and Clifford are discussing. Well, Brawl finds out what Clifford is writing.
Yeah.
And they have this big, long dialogue scene of like, that he shouldn't do it, or when he's fighting, saying that he should do it, because it's obviously about what took place of them murdering, his wife. But when you're listening to Michael Caine Brawl talk, Michael Caine, I swear, and you can go back and watch the movie. I swear he's Emperor Palpatine at times, because when you hear his voice, at times. You could hear the Emperor Palpatine saying the same damn things. It was like, oh man, I don't know if it's the English accent or what it is, but I'm telling you, it's there. It's there.
Yeah. This is a really tight cast. I mean,
it is, and not a very big cast.
No, we got these. Well, you're talking about 5 characters overall, really. Yeah. You've got Sidney and Myra Bruhl. You got Clifford Anderson. You've got the nosy neighbor, the psychic, Helga Tindorp. And then you have his agent, or not his agent, his lawyer.
The lawyer, right?
Yeah, the lawyer. So one character though, because we're talking characters real quick. Let's talk about this house.
Oh my gosh, the windmill house.
The windmill house. This is a gorgeous house. When you watch it, I can see how this is such a fun stage play to see.
Yes,
because of the way the house is built. But I love the fact that they take the time to get some exterior shots because it is an actual place.
Yeah, it's a real house.
It's the windmill house in Long Island. So
yep,
I just love the look of that house, man.
I would love to own that house, Jeff. It
that
is a
that open
beautiful
place
home.
that fireplace. It's like in the center of the room.
Yeah, it's like the
You
kitchen,
know?
all that's like opened up in there, just
Yeah.
like it's beautiful. And how you get like the bedroom is like underneath, like where the windmill
The
turns. Like,
windmill turn. That's
yeah.
his office with all the weapons on the wall though,
Yes.
from his stage plays and his collections. Yeah, I absolutely love this house. It captivates you, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's such a great centerpiece for this film. You know, I mean, there's only like what, 4 sets, I think. Like you had
Pretty
the
much.
playhouse, the train station, the cemetery, and
Yep.
the house itself. Which I mean,
Yeah.
it's based off of a play, so of course you're going to have very simple sets because you can't be all over the place on a play. So it worked perfect for this too.
Yeah, this is the what do they call this? This is the 1 set, 2 act, 5 character play.
Yep.
Is that the formula? Yeah.
Yep.
It works because it's tight.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the fact you see like his performance, like the Deathtrap, the play at the Music Box Theater. That was actually in production. It was going on while they were filming this. So I think it's really cool that they were just like, hey, we're going to use the stage settings for the movie also.
That's so cool that they did
it's
that.
Great. Yeah, absolutely.
Not often you get the chances to do that. I'm telling you. I don't think anything has happened since then, has it? I think this is like one of the few movies that was able to do that.
It's got to be the only. If there's another one, I don't know it, but yeah. Let's you want to talk about some characters you want to talk about some actors that aren't in Deathtrap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so listen to this one. First off, the chemistry between the 3 of them is fantastic.
Oh, it's spot on.
Let me ask you, how would you feel about watching Deathtrap if Jack Lemmon and Anne Bancroft had played the Brules?
Interesting.
And Dustin Hoffman was Clifford Anderson.
Oh, that would take a different spin, I would feel, on that. I can see it.
Yeah.
I think it definitely would work without a doubt. I mean, it's hard to see it since we're so used to Caine and Reeve and Cannon playing these roles. But no, I definitely could see that. That'd be interesting.
It would. I think it makes it a more serious film.
Oh yeah,
because
by far,
I don't see Anne Bancroft flying off the handle the way Diane Cannon is able to.
Right.
But I could see Jack Lemmon having some of these outburst scenes.
Yep.
I think that would have been great. Now,
yes,
I'm not going to trade it though. Like if you gave me my chance to, hey, trade the cast, what do you want to do?
Right.
I'm sticking with who we got.
Absolutely.
But that would have been a bad way to go. Is all I'm going to say. Right.
Yep. I would agree.
So Dave, you gave us a quick synopsis about the movie. Any background about, how the movie came to be though? Like what do you got on the film's production?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Variety back then, which was a magazine, and I think they're still around, but they reported that Warner Brothers purchased the rights to the stage play for $1 million. At this time, that was apparently the most ever expensive purchase for a movie's rights that was non-musical. So think about that. They knew the success of this already, because as we all know, we've already discussed this. It's based off of the play, but it ran for 1,793 performances. Think about that. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that holds the record. It may not to this day, but I believe that holds a record for one of the longest running performances of a Broadway play. That's a long time, man. That's a lot of performances. So you can clearly see they saw value in it, as well as doing in Broadway. That they wanted to make a movie off of it. But anyway, director Lumet once commented on the real stage play scenes in this movie, which here's a quote from him, and I think it's kind of neat, especially the end of the quote. It says, "We use the original set of Deathtrap as our set for Sidney Brawl's flop play. The Music Box Theater is dark on Mondays, so we shot there on a Monday, along with 600 dressed extras as first nighters. Thus, the opening scene is a movie of a play within a play, which takes place within the play on which the movie is based. If that's not completely clear, it's at least a first." I love that quote. I love that quote.
Yeah, because he starts to lose you there for a quick second. Like,
right.
He's the mastermind of a twists and turns movie is giving a twist and turn answer.
Exactly. Yeah. But I just thought
that makes sense
brilliant.
though. Because this play is running as they're doing the production. So I was just wondering, like, when are they using the stage house
And on Mondays, it's like it's dark.
You said on
so,
Mondays it's dark. Okay.
Yeah, so they were able
That
to
makes
use it then.
sense.
Yeah. But
No.
his other one, so according to, he says a melodrama, and this is speaking of Deathtrap, a melodrama like Deathtrap requires a different set of movie muscles. You shoot, write, act, and edit for story. The object is to have fun. And if you take yourself seriously, you're dead. The line between good mystery and good comedy is very thin, a knife edge. Both take delicate timing. And when an audience is really scared, their natural reaction is to laugh.
I like that. He was such an amazing director.
Yeah.
I mean, when we get to his filmography, I know we're going to have to just kind of skip around a little bit and just hit the highlights, but
Right.
man, I love hearing directors talk about their work.
Me too. I love it, especially ones who aren't around anymore. I love to hear what they had to say about their work, because we don't have that opportunity to interview them or speak to them right now,
Yeah.
So it's neat to get to be able to see that. One other thing that I guess we should probably talk about is the controversial kiss.
Yeah. I mean, if this was shot today,
no big deal.
This is the biggest who cares thing, but
right.
But in 1982, this is a big deal. It's huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I believe the play didn't have it, by the way.
No,
but they did it for the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Sometimes you gotta tweak a story just so the movie's a little bit different, or it has some wow factor, and like we talked about. So these guys, it's all a setup to provoke the wife into having a coronary, which she does. That he murders, quote unquote, Christopher Reeve to get his stage play. Reeves comes back to life, just intense rage monster that he is. He comes crashing through the window. He's covered in blood and mud and just has that just murder look in his eyes. And she cannot handle it. I mean, for all she knows, he has come back to life and just murdered her husband. And that's too much for her. So, but then we find out, these guys have been meeting in secret. They have been rehearsing it. And the whole plan was to get her money and then live a happy life together. Yep. Right. Yeah. Yep. I think in the original play, it's intended that they're partners, but not in the romantic sense.
Right.
So that's one thing that Lumet changed for the movie is he made them secretly they were a couple.
Right. And I think it was a bold move for the director and for them to do this. Because like you said, at this time, 1982, you didn't do this kind of stuff on screen. It just wasn't seen. And when you had it, it was pretty controversial, especially for two big performers like this, Yeah,
this is, you got to think about, you got to think about where we were in America at this point.
Oh yeah.
And the what was deemed appropriate, if you will. So the idea of seeing Superman kiss another man,
right,
that was shocking for audiences. I think it works for the movie.
Oh, absolutely, it does.
Because if your buddy, if your business partner, tries to convince you to help him murder his wife, you're not gonna do that. No. I think that them being a romantic couple kind of creates the passion that one would need to be talked into something as outlandish as this plot is.
Exactly.
You'd have to care about someone on a whole nother level. And aside from one split second kiss that they share, that's all you really see. It's the rest of the movie. If you had missed that scene, you wouldn't even know. Nope. You would just assume that they're just business partners because
exactly.
They don't play it. They don't play a certain type.
Right.
Is what I feel.
Because even when his lawyer comes in, and Clifford's like typing and stuff like that, saying that he's his secretary and stuff like that, you wouldn't even think that. You're right. If you miss the kiss, absolutely.
Yeah. And even Sidney has that great line with the lawyer where he's like, well, imagine if I had taken a female, secretary, what would people say after the death of my wife? And, his lawyer's like, oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It does.
It does. I commend him for it.
Yeah. And that's got to show you the kind of pull that director has, because I'm telling you right now, I can almost guarantee that the studio was like throwing a fit about that. No,
Oh
we can't
gosh,
do
yeah.
this. We can't do that. That's going to destroy us. It's going to destroy this film. And, the director must have had a lot of pull to say, we're going to do it. And
Could
it
you
happened.
imagine? Could you imagine the studio head seeing dailies and go what did I just watch?
Right. Yeah.
But the odd thing about this, Dave, is after this movie came out,
Mm-hmm.
The stage play adapted to that and took it a little bit further. Some of the stage plays that, and I'm sure we're talking about off Broadway, but
Right.
a lot of them, embraced the kiss and then even went with nudity in some cases. So it definitely, Lumet's decision, controversial at the time as it was,
mm-hmm.
it changed how the play was carried out after that. So
yeah,
brave choice, and I'm okay with it.
I am too.
I gotta listen. We can't talk about this movie without addressing a couple superhero references, right?
Of course we can.
Now,
we got Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve. Come on.
Now we got So let's look at the obvious ones. You've got Superman and Alfred Pennyworth,
mm-hmm.
In this movie together.
Yep.
But there's two other superhero connections to Deathtrap, and I'm going to challenge you. Do you think you know any of them?
I read this, but I don't remember who it was now. No, I can't think off the top of my head right now.
Okay, I got two for you. So we talked about this house,
mm-hmm.
actual estate in Long Island with a working windmill. It went up for auction in 2017,
mm-hmm.
and for $12 million was purchased by none other than Tony Stark himself, Robert Downey Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the house where Alfred and Superman are hanging out is actually owned by Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay.
I got one more for you though, and this is a much deeper cut. Are you ready for this one?
Sure.
All right. We've been talking about how this has been a very successful stage play for a long time, right? So I'll have you know that during the 1979 tour of Deathtrap, Clifford Anderson, who is played brilliantly in the film by Christopher Reeve, Superman.
Yeah.
In 1979, on stage, he was played by Kevin Conroy.
Really?
How about that? Yeah.
Wow.
Most notably, probably the best voice actor for Batman
Absolutely.
of all time, and has played Batman in live action. Bruce Wayne in live action.
That's awesome.
So Superman, Batman, Alfred, Iron Man. I mean, this movie's got it all.
Give it up to Deathtrap for connections to the comic book world.
There you go. Right. I mean,
awesome.
I love it. Yeah. Well, Dave, let's talk about, and we'll have to watch ourselves for time here, but let's talk about some of the things that we really like. Do you have specific, what specific scenes speak to you as like memorable or your favorite?
So I need to talk about a couple things. Me being a cinematographer, a photographer, I love camera work. I love camera movements. Mm-hmm. So when a movie does something specific that just like, oh, wow, that's cool. So this movie does two things that I absolutely love. So one of them is when Michael Caine calls Clifford on the phone and he's speaking to him on the phone. The camera just does a 360 and just follows him. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but as he's walking around the room, the camera stays in one spot and just follows him as he's talking on the phone. I thought that was really cool. Anytime a director does stuff like that, I'm like, yes, that just adds so much a dimension to a film.
It does.
But the other one was the shot, which it really, Clifford knew what was going on, but the shot was cool. When Clifford got put into the chair for the first time, he had the handcuffs on. And the camera was low and it slowly comes up. So with the camera movement, you are realizing that Clifford's in trouble as Clifford realizes he's in trouble. Yes. It was perfect. Loved that so much.
That is one of my favorite scenes in the movie because at that point, we don't know what's going on.
Right. We don't.
And your brain, I really feel like you're connected to Myra at that point because she's thinking, is he really going to do this? Is he really going to go through with it?
Yep.
You're forced into that feeling, that mindset, and just the feeling of helplessness, that tight shot scrolling up Christopher Reeve's body. You feel so helpless in that moment.
You do.
And it's the little things where he's trying to give himself some kind of security, like, oh, my friend's gonna call, and and then Michael Caine's like, well,
what number did you give him?
That whole, what number did you give them? And he quickly, his hand covers the telephone where the numbers.
Oh crap!
And he's like 324, blah blah. It's just like the first one.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, is it right? Is it right? And he's like, oh, that's good. You get that momentary relief.
Mm-hmm.
And even just with Michael Caine being like, oh, I thought you two thought I was gonna do something crazy. Like it's like everyone has like a ha moment, and then he goes
and then
right
boom!
back into it. Boom!
Yeah.
Starts strangling with the chain. Wow, that is such a great scene.
I know. And I'm telling you, you hear this all the time from actors that you're always supposed to perform with your eyes. Your eyes says so much. Without dialogue, use your eyes. That scene right there is a specific example of why. Because when Christopher was just like looking around that room, he looks to the wife, looks, to Brawl. It's just amazing performance, man.
Yeah. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole film.
Oh yeah, I could see why
that
too.
And the scene where Christopher Reeve kind of gnashes his teeth a little bit, and yells at Michael Caine.
Yeah.
That, give it to me. We've never heard Christopher Reeve yell,
No.
I mean, aside from the afternoon that Lois Lane got killed in the earthquake,
right.
This is a scary yell though. And you're terrified of him in that moment. Because at this point, Christopher Reeve he hasn't been the alpha in the room, right?
Right.
He
hasn't.
He's been very, even once you see the turn and you find out that he's in on it and he's a bad guy. He's kind of deviant, he's kind of.
But you feel like he's playing along with Brawl. He's not like overpowering Brawl at any point.
He's not the mastermind.
No. Yeah, until the end, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you another thing I like, and this goes to the marketing of the movie. I just think it's fun seeing the whether you're looking at the poster or the DVD cover, the Blu-ray cover, where they're kind of stuck inside this giant Rubik's cube.
Yeah, that Rubik's cube.
Yeah. So they use that. I looked into this. They use that for two reasons. One, they wanted some kind of puzzle box because it's the whole thing's a mystery, right?
Makes sense.
Murder mystery. Also, in 1982, Rubik's Cube is like at the height of its popularity. It's like one of the most highest selling puzzle toys of all time. So they're like, let's just use it. So I think that's kind of cool about it, actually, too.
I do want to throw out one other then I laugh about it. It's when Brawl comes in and his wife screams and he says, every time I come into this bloody house, you scream.
He's had such a rotten night, his opening night, he bombs, he misses, he gets drunk on the shuttle home or whatever.
Right.
And then comes in and then she screams and he drops the thing he's got. Yeah.
He's too funny.
Yeah. I know in some circles, this is considered like a dark comedy, a murder mystery, a comedy. I wouldn't consider it a comedy, but it's got a lot of unintentional comedy.
It does.
I think, and it's really in the moments where you should be more, fearful for people.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Caine's breakdown, he's fantastic. But speaking of breakdowns, I want to talk about something I don't like. Okay. Diane Cannon is a beautiful woman. She's a talented actress. And I don't understand the motivation of the character being so over the top annoying. I mean, she's just too loud. Yeah. I don't get it.
I'm with you on that. No, you're not wrong. That's actually the weakest part, I think, of this film is her character.
Yeah. Did you know she lost, but she was nominated for Worst Actress at the Razzies.
Yeah.
I mean, that should say something.
It does. And I'm telling you, I kind of mentioned earlier when I talked about her scream. Dude, I'm saying it's probably one of the worst screams I've heard in a film. Like, it just grated on me. It's not at all. And it happens so many times. It just, oh my God, just stop screaming, please.
Her debut, like her opening scene, where she's in bed, she's watching the news, waiting for him to call. I guess we should have saw what was in store for us just from that moment, because could you imagine calling home and your wife being like, Sidney, darling, darling. She's screaming at him on the phone. I'm like,
I'm down, lady.
Yeah, just take a pill. I don't know. Yeah, I think I get that we need her to be a little annoying because not that you should like Clifford and Sidney, but there has to be some kind of motivation, and not just, I mean, think about it. If she was supportive, look, if I'm married to Diane Cannon and she's a millionaire and she's still Diane Cannon and
I'm okay with
she's
that.
smart and supportive, okay, I'll just keep trying.
Yeah.
So she had to be a little grating, I guess.
I guess so.
But I think Diane Cannon just went a little too hard.
She did. Yeah. A little too hard on the performance there.
Yeah.
And that's my only dislike of the film. That's my only dislike. That's
the only thing I could say. One more if I can, because this thing is just, every time you turn around, there's a new twist hitting you.
Yep.
The ending.
Oh yeah. With Helga.
So we got, with Helga. So we got the psychic who is a little bit of a celebrity herself. She's
the neighbor.
She's the neighbor. Yeah. She's been on TV and she's got the ominous, watch out for the men in boots. Yeah. Because Christopher Reeve inexplicably wears hiking boots
around the house.
Around the house, like his pants are tucked into him. It's just it's kind of a strange thing. Superman can do what he wants. I guess it's his business. But the whole thing where this plays out because it's like a double cross and then another double cross, because Michael Caine's character does not want. You mentioned this earlier. He thinks Christopher Reeve's Clifford is writing a stage play about a welfare office,
right?
And then come to find out, he's writing Deathtrap. He's writing what they did, point by point. And then he's trying to explain, like, hey, the notoriety, I can't believe these guys wrote something about something that happened. He's eating it up. Michael Caine doesn't want to do it. And then Michael Caine decides, Michael Caine decides, I have to kill this guy and get rid of him too. And when they're going back and forth, and that's a great cat and mouse throughout the house. Like the thunderstorm has knocked out the power. Good old Helga shows up.
Good old Helga.
And then you're like, there's a struggle and you're like, well, what happened? And then we cut to opening night of Deathtrap. And it turns out that Helga has written it.
Yep.
She basically, she's got a whole new celebrity because now she's a playwright. She has taken, she kind of knew what was going to happen and she saw what happened and then she wrote her own version of it. So I love the triple twist ending that this thing does. I think it's fun.
It is too. I loved it. Very much fun.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about Sidney Lumet himself?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Dave, I'm going to start with just a few things about Sidney. So if you didn't know this, the majority of his movies shot in New York, right? A lot of his stuff is New York based. Got his starting off Broadway and TV. He made his film debut with 12 Angry Men in 1957.
Wow. What a way to start.
We were just talking about Taika Waititi starting off with an Oscar nominated project. Long before Taika, Sidney's doing it.
Yeah.
Because 12 Angry Men got three Academy Award nominations. That's a heck of a start in Hollywood, right?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
where can you go from there?
Well, I can tell you, I don't know where you can go, but I can tell you who you can go with, because he's worked with Brando, Fonda, Katharine Hepburn. He did 5 movies with Sean Connery. I mean, he had a storied career. We're talking 30 Oscar nominations just in the decade of the 1970s alone.
Wow.
So when we talk about Hollywood royalty, we talk about one of the greatest of all time.
Here he is.
This is one of the names that has to be in the conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And he even received an honorary Academy Award in 2005 for outstanding contribution to filmmaking. So just an amazing guy. And I just want to talk about a couple movies just because I don't want us going too long. But, like I said, feature film debut is 12 Angry Men with Henry Fonda, 1957. This is in my top 10 of all time to this day. I absolutely love 12 Angry Men. You've seen it?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Fantastic film.
Fantastic film,
fantastic. Right? If you've not seen that definitely needs to be on your list to see. I don't care if it's 1957. It is a very well put together film.
Business schools use that movie to teach conflict resolution and teamwork.
Yep.
That should tell you something. I mean, and again, this is like that one set piece,
Exactly. Yeah.
I love how tight it is.
That's what I was going to say is, I mean, that just proves to you right there. If you've got a well-written script, you don't need a ridiculous amount of sets. One set, if that script is written as good as 12 Angry Men is, you're going to have your audience on the edge of their seat the whole time just from that.
Yeah. And this is one of those, I think they've remade it once or twice, right?
They have,
TV movie, maybe.
But nothing compared to that one. Yeah.
If you're not watching the original one, you're missing out. There are so many amazing performances in it.
Absolutely.
Throughout the 60s, kind of dips back into television a little bit here and there. Maybe one or two movies, but then comes back roaring in 1973. Al Pacino is now a bona fide movie star thanks to The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about Serpico, the true life story, based off the true life, Frank Serpico. This is just gritty police corruption crime movie, and Lumet's known for doing these types of movies,
right?
But based on what he has done, this was his first was his best, because Serpico is awesome. What about Serpico?
I have not seen Serpico. Unfortunately, I know it's on my list to watch. So
okay,
yes,
okay, wow, okay. Well, a year later, though, he jumps into the mystery game, Murder on the Orient Express, 1974.
Yes, sir.
Based off Agatha Christie. You mentioned at the beginning you've seen both, right?
Correct.
Well, obviously you saw the new one.
Yep.
You have a preference?
I mean,
tough, right?
It is very tough because I love Kenneth Branagh. He has such a good performance. He directs well, but man, you got to give it up to one of the originals too. I mean, it's tough to decide which one I like best. I have to put them both on par.
Okay,
Yep.
That's fair. 1975, he reteams with Pacino, one of the best bank heist movies of all time, Dog Day Afternoon. Talk about a pressure cooker of a film. Pacino playing a bank robber who is trying to get money for his lover's sex change, which I know sounds off the wall, but the way he handles this material is taken so seriously. It's an afterthought, because the tension rising between Pacino's character and the police chief, who's trying to get everybody out and get everybody safe. It's one of the best dynamics in a film, but Pacino is just electrifying. That's all I can say. What did you think?
I've not seen Dog Day Afternoon.
You haven't seen Dog Day? Oh my Lord!
I'm telling you. Apparently, I need to have a Sidney Lumet day where I'm watching a bunch of these films that I've missed out on, because I know he's got quite a handful that are just absolutely spectacular that I've not seen yet.
You at least, sir, you at least owe yourself a Pacino Lumet double feature.
I do.
With
You're
those
right.
two.
Yep.
All right. What about Network? 1976.
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen Network?
I have not seen Network either.
Oh my Lord!
I know. Our listeners are like, "Are you kidding me? Has he not seen anything?"
The emails are gonna be just piling up. Why is this guy talking about Sidney Lumet? Right. He hasn't seen any of his movies.
I promise, though, I will.
Okay. Well, Dave, let's jump ahead a couple years. I have to believe you saw The Wiz, 1978.
I have seen The Wiz.
Tell us about your feelings about The Wiz, Dave. Yeah, you better give these people something.
No, I mean, it's just it's a different version of like The Wizard of Oz, like some kind of odd musical, which I love. I grew up with The Wizard of Oz, so seeing the Wiz and how it was something completely different but yet still similar was very interesting and a great take on it.
In 1978, whoever decided to take The Wizard of Oz and recast it with Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah,
that person just had the idea. Hey, let's print money.
It's a brilliant move, because Michael Jackson obviously knew where his career was going. So
yeah, and this was so fun. Yeah, this movie, it's nothing but fun. And the thing about these movies we're talking about, Like I said, 12 Angry Men, 1957. His Pacino stuff in the early 70s. The Wiz in 78. These movies do not lose their touch over time.
No,
they are just as prominent, just as good now as they were then.
There's a reason why they call them classics, because they earned that term.
So 1982, he does a double shot. He's got Deathtrap, and then he follows it up with the Academy Award nominated The Verdict with Paul Newman. Paul Newman, just incredible performance. Plays the alcoholic lawyer from Boston. Probably one of the best courtroom movies. I'm going to count 12 Angry Men as a courtroom drama. We're not in the courtroom per se,
right?
But I'd say that's probably the best, or maybe my favorite. The Verdict's definitely up there in the top 2 or 3 as far as I'm concerned. What'd you think about The Verdict?
I've not seen that either.
Oh my Lord, we're going to lose this audience quick.
I know we are. They're all going to hate me now. They don't ever have David back on here again. He doesn't watch movies. Yeah.
For those of you listening that are upset, please remember that in just a few short weeks, Brad Koza will return to the A Film By podcast. I'm kidding, Dave. I'm kidding. Listen, after we'll jump ahead because, like I said, this will quickly spin out of our control,
right?
Much like the plot of Deathtrap. But it's amazing because he has such an incredible body of work in the 70s and early 80s, and then things kind of got quiet down over the next 20 years. He does some movies that I felt were they're definitely worth seeing. I mean, they're not big movies though. Like, when you think about something like Guilty as Sin, I think that was like 1992, 93 maybe, with Don Johnson. Yep. This is a chance for people to see Don Johnson as a bad guy. Because he had been Sonny Crockett for the longest time,
right? On Miami Vice, of course, yeah.
And to see him play a guy accused of murder, Rebecca again, Lumet's back in the courtroom because this is Rebecca De Mornay is a lawyer who's defending him, but doesn't really want to. I mean, Don Johnson is about as charming as De Niro's Max Cady in Cape Fear. If that tells you anything, he's a slime ball. So she's got to make the choice. But he's got a couple. He did I want to say it was what was the James Spader hospital movie? Critical Care.
Critical Care. It was Critical. Yep.
Not bad. That
was 97, I believe. Somewhere in
that was like satire. It wasn't bad. His final film though in 2007, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. I mean, if a director is going to retire, you always hope that they're going to retire. The last film they do is going to be a really good one, right? Maybe not their best movie, but you always want them to go out with a great one or retire with a great one. I'm gonna give it to him. I think he did, because Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, fantastic movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman in one of his better roles. You got Ethan Hawke just tearing it up on the screen, and she had been gone for a little bit, but Marissa Tomei, I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of Marissa Tomei, you need to see Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. That's all I'll say on that one. Yeah. Just an incredible movie. Definitely incredible. Now, here's the thing though, Dave, he did pass away in 2011. So I know we like to talk about what we'd like to see next.
We do. Yeah.
So I'll change it up. I'll ask, we just found out there's a lot of great films by this man that you have not seen yet.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask you, like, what would you want to see? If I'm going to say, hey, watch a Sidney Lumet movie tonight, which one are you going to go with? What are you going to start? You going to do like the Pacino stuff? You want to do like Network?
I'm actually going to do a double feature.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do Serpico and Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay.
I need to see both of those films as soon as possible, especially as much as you have talked immensely on how good they are. And I know, Al Pacino and stuff like that, what a great performer he is. Everything he's been in, he has been phenomenal. So I know I'm in for a treat with those films, and especially with Sidney directing.
As far as Deathtrap goes, Dave, where did you see this? Did you watch this on Prime, or do you have a copy of it? Or
it was Netflix. Well, you mean this recently? So I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Okay. So years ago, you got the red envelope.
I did.
I don't think people can get that anymore, but yeah.
No, they can't. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Blu-ray transfer. Looks really good. If you're wanting to pick up a copy of it, definitely spend I think it was like $9 or $10 on Amazon. Not a whole lot.
Well worth $9 or $10 for this film.
Worth it. So you would recommend seeing this film?
Oh, absolutely. See this film. Hopefully you took my advice at the beginning and stopped to go see it and then come back to the podcast.
Anytime you watch a murder mystery, you never want to know the mystery before you watch it.
You don't. It ruins it for you, man. I mean, I would hate somebody to ruin that for me. I really would. Yeah. Especially as many twists as this film has.
All right. Well, if you like what you heard, please like, share, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff. You can check us out on www.afilmbypodcast.com. You can reach out to us at afilmbypodcast@gmail.com, or on Facebook and Twitter. You can always drop us a line at afilmbypodcast. If you have some recommendations for Dave on which Sidney Lumet movies he should be watching, please let him know, because we got to get this guy caught up. So
we do.
Until next time,